Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Tiffani Beaston from Beauty and the Beastons, and I upload every single Sunday and Tuesday, so be sure to check out my other videos. I just did a Thanksgiving cooking video if you need any recipes for that. I also cook all gluten-free, so if you have any gluten-free friends, make sure you tell them about my channel. But today we are doing a party prep for our last baby. I can't even believe it. She is turning 2 tomorrow, and she's obsessed with Cocomelon. So we did a Cocomelon themed birthday party. This theme was actually a little bit harder for me. If you like videos like this, be sure to check out more videos on my channel because I do party preps for all of my kids' videos, and I have 4 of them. So we've done all kinds of themes, but this one was harder because it was hard not for it to be incredibly tacky with all of the different colors. So I feel like I did my best to kind of make everything go together. And I just found these incredibly inexpensive little iron-on transfers from Amazon. So it was like $19 for a bunch of them. I did have to buy 2 because it only came with one thing that said Coco brother, and we have 2 brothers in the family, so I had to buy 2 of them. But it's much easier and it was more affordable than having custom shirts made for them. So that is what I'm doing, just using these little iron-on transfers that came with them. All of the dresses are from Amazon too, and sorry, the hoodies and the bodysuits, all of that. I'm going to have everything linked in my description box that I used for this party. Be sure to comment below and tell us what is the last theme that your kid had for their birthday party. Our next birthday party in the family will be for my son Tanner. He will be turning 6, which also just feels like a gut punch. I do not do well with like my kids' birthdays. I'm very like sentimental and get like so sad at how big they're growing up. But I would have known that because my younger brother and younger sister, I've always felt that way about their birthdays as well. So Tanner has been back and forth about his theme of his birthday party. So his birthday is January 30th. He has mentioned at first wanting a Gujitsu party, and then he changed his mind to wanting a YouTube party, which I kindly talked him out of. I'm like, what is a YouTube party? Just like a bunch of YouTube symbols, like I don't understand. So then now he wants a Sonic birthday party. So we'll see if that sticks, but I know I could definitely do a good job at making a Sonic birthday party. So we got the shirts made. The reason I did that first is because it was so incredibly tedious. So we did that about, I think that was 3 days before the party we did the shirt. So I try to do things as far in advance as I can to help us out. But it doesn't always work out that way because life is just very busy with 4 kids. So that was a couple days before the party. And now today, this is 2 days before the party. We're making the actual cakes. So my husband and I are gluten-free. My kids are not gluten-free anymore. None of us have celiac. It's just an intolerance. So I made regular cakes since most of the people at the party are not gluten-free. And then I just wrap them and I'm freezing them. And then tomorrow, the following day, I will go ahead and decorate them the day before the party. And I definitely recommend doing it during the day because if you start it at night after your kids go to bed, you're going to be up all night. Take it from me. I usually go to bed at 2 a.m. before birthday parties, but not this time. I had it together. I planned it out as far in advance as I could. So this is also 2 days before the party. And we are stuffing the piñata, and we are also doing the goodie bags. The goodie bags are from Amazon. The piñata is from Etsy. I absolutely loved the piñata. It was more expensive than a regular piñata if you weren't to get it off of Etsy, but it was nice knowing that I'm supporting a small shop. Plus, it was just so cute. I'm trying to do better with letting the kids help me with things. Sometimes it makes me want to rip my hair out, but trying to have more patience and let them help me with the things that they can. So you'll see them a lot throughout this video. Just something that I notice that makes me happier, and they're actually really genuinely helping me right now by doing all of this. I did have to break up a couple of fights, but it was all good in the end. And Tanner spilled his water cup on his pajama bottoms, which is why you'll see him wearing his mismatched jammies.
Another side of you trying to break through, able to tell the truth. No one else can see you like I do. All you ever do is say how far you wanna go. Baby, I can tell just for show. Every line designed to let me know. You know you're already accepted.
Okay, so we are one day out from the party now, and I am starting on our cupcakes. I like to do these right before the party, so I'm doing it just a day before. Like I said, the regular cakes were not gluten-free, but I like to do the cupcakes gluten-free so Chris and I can enjoy them, as well as one of my brothers is gluten-free. So if you have somebody in your family that's gluten-free, don't be afraid of the gluten-free baking. It's very easy. You can't mess up the cupcakes especially. And then this funfetti definitely tastes like the real funfetti. Nobody will even notice. They are delicious.
When we are together, you're afraid to hold my hand, trying to understand. What if this doesn't go as planned? So you don't know what it means to be loyal and kind. I know that you're not blind. Tell me what is really on your mind. You know you're already accepted. To me, you're always picture perfect. You think you're gonna be rejected. Just say you're in love, 'cause so am I. So am I. Say what you are.
So while those are in the oven, we are getting started on our icing. And ever since you guys have been telling me to make my own icing, I tried it and it's really hard to go back now. I do like I think it's called, oh my gosh, I can't remember the name of it. Oh, Simple Mills. They have a really good icing. It does have a little bit of a coconut taste to me, but it's a very healthy icing. It's a little bit harder to work with on cakes in my opinion, and this is just like the best icing taste wise. And if you're decorating a cake, it's a great consistency as well. We are just mixing some butter with powdered sugar, some vanilla. I used half and half. You can use heavy cream, but I just had half and half on hand. And this is like a great consistency to just go ahead and icing your cake. If you want to decorate it, I would put it in the fridge for a little bit, which is what I'm going to do for the cupcakes. But now we are starting on the cake. This is always the most stressful part of party prep for me. And the most tedious part is always the balloon arch. But having the cake done the day before, earlier on in the day, knowing that I'm not going to be up all night was a huge, huge relief.
So am I. So am I. I really wanted to get it right, trying to find some balance in my life. I never really put up a fight, and now I'm losing sleep. What if I lost touch? What if I'll never get it right? I try to follow my heart, but I lost it somehow. Wish that someone could say it'll all be okay. Just listen to me as I say. Listen to me as I slow it down. Dreams still yours if you want it. Enjoy the ride, 'cause those ups and those downs is what makes it worth it. Slow it down. Dreams still yours if you want it. Enjoy the ride.
So if you've been here for a while, you know that I have a hate-hate relationship with fondant. Not a love-hate, hate-hate. No, but this was the best that I've ever done with it actually. So I put powdered sugar on my island, and if you're in like a warmer house, you want to try to roll this out on like a cooler space and then keep flipping it over, otherwise it will start to stick to your surface. But I had a good experience with that, because in the past I've had it like stick to things, and then also just getting it onto the cake without a bunch of rips and pulls. I think main thing there was just making sure I had enough. I think I always try to stretch it too thin. And so I did have excess this time, but it was better than not having enough. And then I'm just using this fondant for strips for the Cocomelon cake. It's not perfect, but it came out good. The hardest part about this cake for me was making the face for the Cocomelon logo and having it stick to the other fondant. It kind of like kept getting wrinkled. I kept saying my little face on there needs some Botox, so it kept getting wrinkled. I don't know if I'm falling down. I did wet it and try to stick it on that way, and then I added some toothpicks to it. But it did take a couple years off my life, as all my cakes do. But in the end, I really loved it, and so did Everly, which is what matters the most.
What if I lost touch? What if I'll never get it right? I try to follow my heart, but I lost it somehow. Wish that someone could say it'll all be okay. Just listen to me as I say. Listen to me as I say. Tell yours if you want. You're either right, 'cause those ups and those downs is what makes it worth it. Slow it down. Tell yours if you want. You're right, 'cause those ups and those downs is what makes it worth it.
Now that that's done, we are starting another batch of icing for the cupcakes. Ella really wanted them to be pink and Tanner really wanted them to be green, so I decided to split it in half and do some green and some pink to make them happy. That's kind of what made the cupcakes go. Like I said, the same how like I've been letting them help me a lot more, which takes a lot more patience, I agree, but these are teaching them how to do things. Like, I don't know, if they ever want to help me with laundry, I let them help me, and Carter knows how to fold really well, and so does Tanner. My kids are going to leave my house knowing how to take care of themselves. They're not going to need to depend on anybody else. I never want to hear my kids' significant others tell me that they can't do laundry or can't cook. Like, there's no way. My kids, female or male, are going to leave the house knowing how to do all of those things. So I am trying to embrace letting them help me. And then, do these cupcakes look perfect with pink and green? No, but it doesn't matter. My kids are so happy to have pink and green cupcakes. So the point I'm trying to put across here, besides the fact that I want to teach my kids how to take care of themselves before they ever leave the house, which in my perfect world we would all like live on a farm together one day, but that's my dream. I never want my kids to leave me. I already cry about it, and they're not even in middle school yet. But I am trying to get over their perfection. Nobody needs perfection. What's more important is that my kids like their pink and green cupcakes. I actually love how these came out, and also I love the whole like ring idea for a cake topper, because you don't just rip it off and throw it away. The kids can also have them as a goodie, even though Everly's really the only one that's into Cocomelon, but it is her party, so that's all that matters.
Just the two of us, and we could stay up all night, kissing under streetlights, doing what we want to, doing what we need to do, staying up all night, everything is alright.
So that's how I store everything. I just put the cover on the cupcakes, and then I put some plastic wrap around the cake. You can always put toothpicks in your cupcakes or cake, and then have the plastic wrap go around the toothpick so that it doesn't touch your icing. That's another trick that my mom taught me. So what a relief to have the cake done this early on the day before, especially because I never mentioned that this is a brunch. So it starts at 11 a.m. So basically you want to get up in the morning the day of the party, clean and get ready, and then people are there. So that was my goal. This is me telling Chris I didn't need help with the table because that's how I am. He's like, you want my help? And I'm like, no, I'm fine. But then he came over to help me, which is fine. Getting help is okay. But then also having the balloon arch and stuff up the night before is really nice. You guys have seen my other party preps, and I'm usually up till 1 a.m. with the balloons and all of that because I used to kill myself so that my kids could wake up in the morning and be surprised at everything. And I've mentioned this before, you don't need to do that. They are going to be just as surprised seeing it in pieces versus seeing it all put together. They want their mom to be awake and happy for the party instead of a zombie who stayed up too late just to see their reaction when they saw everything put together. So I learned that the hard way, but now if I could teach any of you that you don't have to stay up all night doing this, you can do it days in advance. You don't need your child to see it all the same day put together. And when they do see it all the same day put together, they're going to love it just as much. So for my balloon arch, I always do the same thing. I get a balloon strip tape. They actually have it at the dollar store now too, but this one is just a leftover from what I had. And I'm just doing the colors like a color block instead of all mixed together. And then what I've learned to do is when I have little gaps in my balloon arch, I just like to tape on some smaller balloons. So you'll see that here at the end. I feel like I'm improving as time goes on, but it's very intimidating, but it doesn't have to be. And then also with the balloon tape, another tip I have is to get the balloon tape that only has one hole and then a smaller hole versus the one that has two holes, because that just never winds up looking good for me. Whereas this one with the one hole and then the tiny little hole attached to it is much better. I'll try to put a picture on screen here so you can see what I'm talking about. So a lot of people use command hooks to hang up their balloon arch. For our backdrop, I use the command strips, but for the balloon arch, I just always tack it into the wall. There's like a million little holes over here, but it's all good because that's our party wall. I was trying to get a decent clip here, but Everly actually knows how to blow up the balloons with the balloon pump now. She just hands them to me to tie them, which I love. Even the morning of the party, the kids were like, can we start the balloon arch now? And they just love helping. Ella gets into my bed like every night, some point in the middle of the night, kicks me all night, which I know a lot of you can relate to. But so I wake up next to her. So in the morning she woke up, she's like, Mom, we gotta get up. We have like so much stuff to do for the party. And it's just so adorable. I love how much they all love to help me with this, and they look forward to it. Like I said, birthday parties are always a big deal for us because of course we want to celebrate how much we love our children with a party, but also because we talk about their themes all year. Like not like Everly could talk about her Cocomelon theme, but it's a thing she's obsessed with the most. But we do plan out our birthdays all year. Like Carter's birthday's in June. He's already planning that he wants a sports birthday or a soccer birthday. Ella is trying to tell me that she wants her third unicorn birthday. She's already had 2 unicorn birthdays, so we'll see. But it's just like I always say, it's our Beaston family Super Bowl because we talk about it all year and plan for her all year. And it's just a really big deal for us. Whenever my kids are saying they're going to have nightmares before bed or something like that, I'm always saying, think of your birthday party and how much fun we're going to have. Think of the decorations you want. Think of the happy things before you fall asleep. If you haven't checked out I have like a party prep essential type video showing you all the items that I use for all the birthdays, and most things are acrylic so that they can go with any theme because they're just clear. So I like to fill that acrylic utensil holder with utensils and napkins the night before and straws, and I like having it set up so that nobody has to ask where anything is because everything is very visible and set up for our guests.
Just to show you that I'm still around. Ask if you wanna meet somewhere later.
So that was amazing because we got to go to the Shady Brook Light Show, and we had our balloon arch set up and our cake and all of that. The two I usually put above the cooktop, but the gap on the wall there just needed something, so the two was perfect for that. So I didn't do that there this time, which I normally do. The kids actually set up the goodie bags for me, and now I'm looking like a hot mess getting everything set up before I finish getting ready. My hair is kind of wet. I'm just cleaning off the island, and for our table runner this time, I'm just using a dollar store tablecloth. So that is what I'm doing the morning of, and then just setting up all of the desserts and the drinks, and then one last minute banner. Also, since it's a brunch, I like to have a little coffee bar and a little mimosa bar. Last minute, we found this little Cocomelon tablecloth at Walmart, so I decided to put that in the dining room, which is where we usually sing happy birthday. Why, I don't know, but we started doing that. We have done it at the island before too, but I like just like moving for like a different set of scenery, I guess. But we are going to be singing happy birthday in this room, so although it's like it's not a round tablecloth, it was still cute. So I love having everything set up for when our guests walk in. So for this birthday party, for most birthday parties, I don't cook. I just do desserts because there's no way I can do all the decor and cook and have my sanity at the same time. So that's something I learned because in the beginning I used to cook everything, do all the decorations, do the cake, do all of it. And finally I was like, I need to start getting things catered. So we love doing brunches for birthday parties because we love breakfast food. The kids are starting with a donut before the party because they've been such great helpers. But I just love doing breakfast food. They come and they set up the breakfast foods with sternos, and I literally don't have to do anything besides what you've already seen here. But it's nice to not have to cook and make a mess and all of that. So I think it's really important to try your best to have the food set up before people get there so that they can just come in and not have to like stand around awkwardly wondering where things are or waiting for things. It's always my goal that by the time that my guests get here, food and drinks are set up, there's music on, the house smells good with diffusers going, it's clean, and I'm ready, and not being like a hot mess looking stressed out, because your guests will totally feel that if you are stressed out about whatever is going on. So my goal is to be ready downstairs, have everything set up about 15 minutes before guests come, and I was actually able to achieve that this time, and it was great.
Lying next to you, feeling something brand new. And I haven't seen you in years, but I know you. Oh, I really missed you. Before when I met you, I never saw. No, I never saw the way that you look now is all I know. Yeah, it's all I know. So forget about the past. You and I could be lasting. This time we could be lasting. This time we could be lasting.
So I hope that you all enjoyed this party prep video and that it gave you some inspiration and motivation to try to do some of your stuff at home yourself, because I know you can do it, and a lot of times it winds up being cheaper doing it yourself for a party, and it's more satisfying in my opinion, but to each their own. If you have a party planner who does everything for you and sets up everything for you, that's perfectly fine. You do what's best for your family, because in the end, it's all that matters. Hope you all enjoyed this video, and I'll see you on Sunday.